here's what happened. I joined the band. We immediately are rushed into the studio to do the 7-inch way too soon than we should have. I think we were recording the 7-inch within 6 weeks of me being in the band. It was just too fast. But again, that was that urgency that Dennis, you know, everybody wanted to do it now. And here I am, a 19-year-old kid who was just stoked to be going into a recording studio. I was like, wow, you know. But, you know, here we are, that 7-inch, we're very much an underdog Chromac wannabe band, you know. And I was okay with that. It was fun, you know, it was fun stuff. But as we played more and started to write new material, all these new influences were pouring in. Specifically, like Darren really turned me on to, I was not a Descendants fan until I met Darren. And he got me into the Descendants, which then I got into All, and then Big Drill Car and all these bands. So that poppy thing was really kind of infusing in a little more power pop punk. And then there was other bands that me and Coyle and Darren were all really into, like 24/7 Spies, you know, Bad Brains and stuff like that, where there was a little more of a funky and rock, even to some extent like Living Color a little bit. There was that sort of rock funk thing that was getting popular.
Right.
Mainly with like 24/7 Spies, we were all really into. And so we started writing some 24/7 Spies kind of, you know, groove stuff. And then Doc would be, you know, and God love Doc. I love the guy to death, and we're still friends to this day. But he'll even admit he couldn't sing, you know, he couldn't. And I noticed, you know, as we were growing musically as a band, he couldn't really do much to that type of stuff. And I could see it really frustrating Darren and John. And and I'm not going to throw anybody under the bus. It was frustrating me too, of course. But the thing I do not remember who said it first, like, bro, we need to get him out of there. I don't remember. I really don't. I remember it being very, very difficult because we all loved Doc. I mean, he was a great guy, but, you know, and I don't know if you know about this. After the 7-inch, Dennis wanted, I don't remember, I think it was for a conversion. It might have been a conversion
New Age
compilation. Maybe it's that one. That can't. I know that we went into the studio to record 2 new songs. No Sympathy and Take Hold were the names of the songs. And I just remember Doc really, really struggling vocally on those. And so much so that we scrapped both the songs. We basically were like, we can't release these because it just wasn't working. And for whatever reason, we went to the same studio that we recorded the 7-inch. The sound was awful. You listen to those 2 songs, it was recorded in the same studio as that 7-inch, and it sounds like it was recorded on a ghetto blast. They're terrible. So they were never released. And sometime during that, we parted ways with Doc. And I don't recall how it went down. I know it wasn't a very happy ending. I know he was bitter for a little while. But somebody knew Valdi. And in fact, I think we played our first show ever. Yuckmouth played our first show ever in Valdi's garage with Doc. So it's kind of weird. I could be wrong, but I do think that's true. I think because those little garage shows were like a big thing back in those days.
Oh yeah.
And I remember it was his garage, I think, is where we played the very first Yuckmouth show. So I don't know how he came into the picture. Obviously I think it was through Darren and John, because I really didn't know Sam very well. But yeah, when he joined, it opened us up musically to go in different directions. And once again, with that album, we rushed into the studio too quick. We weren't ready. and that's why that album's kind of all over the place. It wasn't very focused.